This is my Bug E, and for the past couple of months, I've been putting a lot of work into fixing it up, so I can eventually sell it for a profit to buy my dream car, the Porsche Boxster. But if you haven't seen the last episode, I messed something up, and now nothing works. Well, now it's not working. It smells like burning. I might have just fried literally everything. I have no clue. Oh, man. So in this video, I'm gonna do my best to get it working and finally list it for sale. The battery is already disconnected, so now I'm pretty much just gonna go through and look at all the wires and see if I can find anything. Oh, I see. I found something. It was a disconnected ground wire, and I'm like 99% sure it was connected to this wire. So I got to work stripping the wires, and I was about to connect them when this happened. It's like an electric vehicle thingy, like a, I don't know what you call it, it's called a Bug E.
Oh, okay.
And after explaining what it was to that guy, I reconnected the ground wire, and then I did a couple layers of tape around it. All right, let's plug that in, see if it works. But before testing it, I still had to reconnect the battery, which is always my least favorite thing. Hopefully that's the last time I ever have to do this. That would be nice. Let's see if this thing works. First key on. Okay, nothing's happened yet. And after looking around a little bit, I realized still nothing works. Huh, weird. So I realized I must have missed something, so I started just checking all the wires I could. And I was mostly just making sure I didn't accidentally pull any of the wires out, and that's when I found it. Well, there's another problem. The wire to the 12-volt converter got pulled out. That could be the problem. Let's hope it is. So I disconnected the battery again because I didn't want to shock myself. And then I took the old connector off of the wire, and luckily I had the same one. And when I connected the battery, I noticed, oh, there's a spark now. That's good. That might have been the problem. And then I tightened it down, hopefully for the last time. And then I went and turned the power key on, and yes, dude. Does the fan turn on? Yes! Yep, we got lights, blinkers, everything. Okay, finally. Now, hopefully the screen works. I tried a few things, but it just wouldn't work. That is not turning on. So I brought an external power bank just to see if it would turn on normally. Did I seriously fry another screen? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. But yeah, this seemed to be the problem was in the port itself. And when I tested it with this little tester thing, I didn't see any power. No power from that. So it seems like that port is fried. I did check the fuse and it was fine, but before I fixed all this, it was literally smoking. So I ordered a new one, and I think replacing it should fix everything. But this is still a huge mess, so I want to make it all look really nice. And even though the new port isn't installed yet, I can still make the wires look really nice because they are out of the way. So I basically just put them all into this tube thing, and then I took these wire mount thingies and put them on and used some zip ties to hold it up all the way. And then I just put some more tubing on these smaller wires, and I put a big tube over all the big wires here, and I basically just repeated that process, just putting tubes over anything I thought would look good. I even tried putting it over the handlebars, but it just looked kind of weird, so I decided to take it off. Well, it is looking really good, but I've just been really unlucky. Now the horn does that, it like doesn't even work, and the lights don't work either now. The blinkers, brake light, fan, all that stuff works fine. But before I fix any of those problems, I'm gonna hook up the charger port really quick. So hopefully I don't need to touch the battery anymore, because that'd be nice. Yeah, I wasn't really sure if the charger port was the reason it wasn't working before, but I had to test it. So I turned the key and it seemed to be fine. Okay, everything that was working still works. Then I took it for a quick drive just to make sure it drove good, which it still did. Still drives fine, that's good. I'm not gonna lie, I am tired of working on the electrical side of stuff. So instead I'm gonna work on fixing this. There are these two huge like chips, and they just looked really bad in my opinion. And the other problem was, it has no grip. If I put my MP3 player in here, it just slides around. So I'm gonna use this Bondo to fill the holes, and then I got this truck bed liner. So I started by using a wet rag to wipe everything down really good. And then I took some tape and put it over the edge, just so when I was sanding, I wouldn't scratch the already good paint. And then I started sanding. It was mostly just a light sand, so I'd be able to put the Bondo in good. And after wiping off all the dust, I got out the Bondo stuff, which I had never used before. Once I put this in, I've got 4 minutes, it sounds like. So I put it in and then just went for it. I've never used this stuff before, so I put a lot of extra material just to make sure I didn't mess up. And yeah, it looked pretty bad. So I tried adding a little bit more to it. Well, it didn't turn out great, that's for sure. But I think it'll work. I mean, for my first attempt, it's not bad. So hopefully I can sand it all down, but if not, I can always do another coat. Yeah, it looked really bad. But hopefully after sanding it, it'll turn out a lot better. Okay, I've let it dry overnight. I'll probably have to do another coat, but let's sand this and figure it out. But my hope was after sanding it, it would look a lot better. So I started sanding it, and my biggest concern was that I actually didn't have enough material on there, but luckily it looked pretty good. Because the paint's so chunky, it's gonna be hard to tell anyways. This is actually a perfect first test. And then when I was taking off the tape, I realized, oh no, look at what it did to the canopy. Oh man, I think it's only on the inside, but it got disgusting. And then I lightly sanded the inside part of the container just so it would be easier for the paint to stick. But now that the sanding was all done, I took it outside. Now hopefully some of this dust will come out. I tried just using the leaf blower to start, but it didn't get everything, so I had to use use a cloth. And after a bit of work, it seemed to be a lot better. But then I broke my microphone transmitter because I dropped my camera, so that was nice. And then I just started masking everything. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. And if you're enjoying it, could I please ask you to subscribe? It's free and it actually helps me out a ton. I also took off the canopy because I really didn't want to get paint on it, and then finally was done masking. But the painting was actually kind of crazy how it worked. You have to shake the can for 2 minutes, and then once you've painted for a minute, you have to shake it for another 2 minutes. But luckily, it was a small area, and after letting it dry for 10 minutes, I just gave it another coat, and it was pretty good. All right, let's see how this looks. I'm pretty nervous. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I was pretty nervous for this. That looks pretty good so far. Wow, that looks so good. It's definitely not perfect. You can kind of see it goes up there a little bit, but this side definitely looks good. I am very happy with how that turned out. And for my first body work kind of thing, I'd say it's not bad. Oh, and with the seat in, that's gonna look great. I forgot to film it, but I added this weatherproof foam stripping stuff, but I think this looks really good. Thank you guys for the recommendation. It looks way better now. But now I've got to figure out why these headlights won't work. So my first thought was it would be in this big bunch of wires. So I took it all apart, and when I looked inside, I didn't really see anything wrong. So I looked lower in the bunch of wires, and after taking it apart, I found something. Basically, a plug just came unplugged, so I plugged it back in, and the lights worked great. And it seemed like it wouldn't come unplugged again. So I put the tubes back on and taped everything back up. I just got a new cigarette lighter port, so hopefully I can replace it and that screen will work. So I disconnected the battery again, and then started disconnecting all the old wires that the cigarette port before was connected to, and pulled it through. Nice. And then I just kept pulling the wires all the way through, and I unscrewed it and took it out. Then I took the new one and pushed it all the way through, and of course it fit great because it's the same one. And then I just pulled all the wires all the way through to where the battery was, and then started reconnecting all the wires in the exact same places, which was pretty easy. It did take me like an hour, but eventually, okay, it should all be hooked up. So I reconnected the battery and then plugged in the screen to the port. Okay, I am nervous. In theory, once I turn this key, the screen should turn on. Please work. Yeah, again, it would just not turn on. And the fuse looked fine, but I realized, so I guess it's this thing must be fried because now the light won't even turn on. So that's weird. So I tried testing it with a different one. So it is working because it's charging my battery. So it must be this thing's fault. Yeah, I really should test things before I just rip them out and replace them. But now that I know everything works, I'm gonna make the wires look really good. So I tested a few different wires I had to make sure they'd power the screen correctly. And after finding the correct one, I put it in and then finalized all the wires. Basically just putting the tubes on and taping them up really good. I tried my best to make everything look good. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but at the very least, it was all out of the way, which was really nice. Then I took some of the foam stripping stuff and put it on the interior. I just thought it would look nice, and it kind of protects your knees from getting bumped. But it was still a mess in my workplace, so I cleaned it all up. I did grab one of these to temporarily plug in the screen, and as you can see, it works, turns on. But now I just gotta clean up the wires underneath and I will finally be done with the wiring, hopefully. So this time I was extra careful not to accidentally pull any of the wires out. And because I did so much last episode, there really wasn't much more to do. So I did install this speedometer, but it hasn't been super reliable. So I bought this new one and it actually connects to the satellites so I can tell how fast you're going. Hopefully this will work well. We'll have to test it though. So I took off the old one, which was just 2 zip ties, so it was pretty easy, and then unboxed the new one. Oh yeah, that is gonna look awesome. Putting it on was pretty simple. It was just these 2 rubber band type things. Simple as that. I definitely prefer the look of the other one, but this one should work way better. So let's test this out and see if it actually works. I'm curious. So I put the canopy back on just because it'd be more fun to have it on. And when driving, it seemed to actually work pretty well. Oh yeah, it seems to be working. I'm not really sure how accurate it is, but it seems to be good enough. While I was driving this around, I did notice the brakes work, just not that well. So I think I can just adjust them. There are adjustment things on the handlebars too, but it seemed to be easier just to do it directly from the wheel. Oh yeah, that is way better. So I did it to the other side too, which did take a little bit longer. I basically just kept moving the metal string until it was in the perfect spot. Okay, much better. This parking brake's kind of weird because sometimes I can pull it and it works, but like here, it just won't go. So I tried using a can of stuff that's supposed to help with this, but it seemed like the wire just would not go through. So I kept moving it around, and when trying to adjust the brake, I realized the brake itself must have something wrong with it. So I tried fixing it, but I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So I just kept trying different things, but then I tried putting the can of stuff on the actual handle itself, and that seemed to fix it. Huh, now it works. Then I removed the old sensor for the old speedometer, but the paint got all scratched up again. So I took it outside and painted a few parts that also didn't look too great, and then touched it up using some cardboard, and then did the same to the inside of the battery tray. Okay, this thing is looking great now, except for this big white piece down here. I never really properly polished it before. I did a little bit, but it just didn't look too good, so I wanted to make sure it looked perfect. So I started by just using some compound and getting all the dirt and grime out of it, and then I took the ceramic coating and put it in, and that's when things really started to look good. Okay, now that everything's pretty much done, I can finally put the seat on. But the brackets for it are still rusty and nasty, so I bought these new ones, and we should be good to mount this all up. So I took the old brackets off of the seat, and then started figuring out where I wanted the new ones. I should actually be putting this on the seat first so they're straight. I don't know if it actually matters which one I put it on first, but it seemed to be easier using the seat. So I measured everything out and then drilled the holes for it. Hopefully that's correct. And after putting the bolt in, it seemed to line up pretty good. So I flipped the seat over and then did the same thing for the other side, making sure to measure everything, and it also seemed to line up very well. And then I brought the seat over to figure out where I wanted it. Sweet. Then I tried figuring out where I wanted to put the seat, and I thought I found the perfect spot. All right, I think I have the spots, so there's really no way of knowing until I drill it out. So hopefully everything still lines up. And while I was drilling, I realized I should probably check to make sure everything's good. Oh no. Forgot to check under here. 12-volt converter is right underneath this. So I found a new spot for the seat to go, but because of that 12-volt converter, it just had to be pushed back a little ways, and I had to drill 2 more holes. Okay, we should be good. Just to be safe, I'm gonna prop this up. But after carefully propping it up and drilling the holes, nice. All right, let's see if this thing fits. Yeah, I was pretty nervous for this. It fits so far. Now, will it slide? Oh yeah, this is all the way back, and it definitely is pushed back quite a ways, but I had to do it this way, otherwise I would have hit that thing, so. And then I took all the bolts and nuts and put them on and tightened it down good. Okay, it should be mounted now. And then I also took the seat cover and put it back on the seat. I haven't sat in this thing in over a month with the seat on, I guess. Oh yeah, dude. That's so nice. Oh yeah, but if you listen, the horn doesn't quite sound right. So I guess I got it pretty straight. It looks straight on there, so. But now I gotta fix that horn. So this thing right here is the horn. I think it's getting power and everything, but it's like just not going. So I tried just fixing it where it already was without taking it off. I just couldn't figure it out, so I decided I had to get it off. Oh, finally. It's like these 2 screw things. I don't know what they do though. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I tried changing the length of the screws, and after a lot of testing, it started to sound a little bit better. But I just couldn't get it to sound right. Well, I think I'm probably just gonna have to buy a new one, but I might as well open it up and try to see if there's anything on the inside. I tried opening it up, but it just would not come apart. I did just order a replacement horn, but 2 really exciting things just came. Got this adapter for the cigarette lighter port. Pops in, and then we can plug the screen in. And when I turn it on, the screen should also turn on any second now. Yep, there we go. And then this is really exciting because it's actually a license plate mounting bracket thing. This is just a leftover plate I have. It's not like the official one for this. So now whoever buys this will be able to actually put their own license plate on the back of this thing. So I took it and tried to line it up as best I could. And I took some tape and put it in the back, which allowed me to mark where to drill and would also protect the fiberglass from cracking. So I drilled both sides through. Okay, let's see if this fits. And after putting both the bolts in, oh yeah, that looks great. So I took the nuts and tightened them all the way down and also put the license plate on, and oh yeah, that is so awesome. It looks super cool, but it is a little bit blocked by that light, which might be a problem, but I don't really have anything I can do about it. So it's good enough for now. Okay, so now everything except for the horn is done. But the last thing I haven't tested out yet is the charger. The port is in, it's all ready to be charged, but I just haven't done it yet. I think I gotta give it a try and just see what happens. So before I plug it in, we can see it's at 38% battery. I'm a little nervous, but I did order this charger like specifically for this battery. Fuse is in, lights are ready. Okay, it's the fan kicked on, and that means it's charging. It all smells fine so far. I'll let it charge for a couple minutes and we'll see if it changes the percentage. While it was charging, I made sure nothing was super hot or smelled weird. And luckily, it seemed to be working perfectly fine. Let's see if it did anything. Okay, it's at 40 now. All right, I'm just gonna let this charge a little bit longer. And same thing here. I just wanted to make sure everything was working good because I really don't want this to mess the battery up. Today is a very special day. If this horn works, then I'm done. I've been working on this thing for the past like 2 months, so this is a pretty big deal for me. So let's just hope this works. And when I took the horn out of the box, I realized this is like the exact same horn. That's crazy. And so I took the 2 wires, which actually fit on it perfectly, and connected them where I thought they were supposed to go. Okay, moment of truth. Oh yeah, that is loud. And then I tried putting it on the bracket where the old horn was. It doesn't quite reach to get onto that bracket. I think if I put it on this one like this, it would be facing down, but I think it'll work fine because it's really loud. Yeah, it's probably not supposed to go on this bolt, but I don't think it's really gonna hurt anything because it's just a thin piece of metal. Okay, that should work. And then I unscrewed the old bracket, but definitely messed up a little paint, but at least that's out now. Now we have... Oh, that does not sound right. I think I'm gonna flip it around the other way so it's pointing forwards, and then it should be a lot better. Yeah, I don't know why it sounded like that, but it must be because it was touching on the metal. Okay, it does not get in the way, so we should be good like that. So I tightened it all the way down, and it seemed to be good. Now it fits in nicely, isn't in the way of everything, and hopefully it'll sound normal now. All right, please sound normal. Yeah, that sounds fine. So now, for real, every electrical thing is done. So this seat looks all right like this, but if you slide it forward a bit, you see these two ugly holes. So I took these little plastic caps and tried putting them in, but pretty much none of them were fitting until I found the perfect one. Well, that's the best I'm gonna get. And it is pretty much covered up anyway, so. So finally, after 2 months of working on this thing, it's done. There's nothing else to do. I can't believe it. Or so I thought. I completely forgot I have to clean everything. So I started by using a leaf blower and getting all the loose stuff out. And once that was done, I noticed the seat looked really bad. So I tried polishing it, and it actually seemed to make it look way better. I even gave it a ceramic coating. Look at how much better that looks. That's insane. Then I used this black trim restorer, and I just put it on all the plastic and rubber pieces I had, and it helped a lot. But the seat was still dirty, so I used this interior cleaner, and it smelled exactly like a car wash. Then after wiping down the canopy, I was done. Okay, now this thing is pretty much as clean as I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures of all the stuff, and then when the sunset happens, I'll get some really cool pictures. Here's a few of the pictures I took. I did take like over 100, but I'm obviously not gonna show them all. But I think they turned out pretty good. So how am I going to sell this thing? I got a bunch of awesome pictures, but I'm gonna try selling it 3 different ways. First, Facebook Marketplace. I mean, it could work, but it is kind of the lower end side of things, I guess. But while it's for sale on Facebook, I'll try to get it onto an auction. That way, if it doesn't sell, I have this backup plan, but it takes a couple weeks. But then my final idea. This is Doug DeMiro. He's a famous car reviewer guy, and I think he would love the buggy. So what happens is people give him their cars, and he'll review it, and then sometimes they put it on Cars and Bids, which is his auction website, and they usually sell for way more. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan. I'll let everyone know how it goes as soon as possible. But yeah, that's it. See you in the next video.